Hello, I'm James George, and welcome to the best places to live and visit in the USA. And this week, I'm really excited because we have got Louis Siano. Is that how I say it, Louis?
Yep, Siano, you got it.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming on the show. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm kind of a mama's boy. Um, I've lived in West Springfield, Massachusetts, my whole life. So I'm from Western Mass originally. I went to Westfield State University, which was 15 minutes from my house, and I pretty much lived in my mom's house up until about 2 weeks ago. And yeah, so that's about it. I stay close to home, and I love it here.
And so, you've been there your whole life then?
Yep, yep.
And I understand you're a massive Pats fan?
Yes, yeah, I actually huge Patriots fan. So in my mom's house where my room was, it was red, silver, and blue, like those colors there. And then I had a huge mural of Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. And every morning I would wake up, I would pray to the GOAT, pray to God, Jesus, that he delivered us Tom Brady. So
I'm
I'm upset to
always
see
intrigued with
in
places.
Tampa Bay, but
I'm
sorry, go
always
on.
I'm always intrigued if in places like that, does everyone support the Patriots where you are?
90 to 95%, yeah. Like huge Patriots fans. Everybody loves the Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins. Like that's kind of where I live, where I grew up, and we're all New England fans.
So tell us about where you live then. What are the great things about where you live and the great things to visit? And I'll screen share some of the stuff as well as you're talking.
Sure. So I live, like I said, personally in West Springfield, Massachusetts. The way that Western Mass is kind of like divided is you have Eastern Central and you have Western Mass. Western Mass is divided into kind of like two different categories. You got the Pioneer Valley, which on top you have Franklin, and then you have Hampshire County, and then you have Hampton County, which makes up the Pioneer Valley. And then west of that, you have the Berkshires. So, like us living in West Springfield, Agawam, like my little area, we all say that we live in Western Mass. And then, but whenever we talk about like the Berkshires, we're talking like Western Mass. So whenever you talk to somebody from Eastern Mass and they say, "Hey, you're from Western Mass. Oh, you're from Pittsfield or Lee or something like that." Like, no, 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 no. That's Western Mass. We're just from Western Mass. Um, but yeah,
I'm I'm lost already.
sorry.
Don't
How
worry, go on.
it's that's not a it's not important, I guess. Um, but yeah, so it's a little divided, and there's great colleges around where we are. There's UMass Amherst, Springfield College. There's Amherst College, AIC, Stick, Western New England, and my alma mater, Westfield State University, to say a couple. Go Owls. There's a whole lot of stuff to do, and it's funny because when I was first brought up to this, what does Western Mass have on a day to day basis? You don't really think of it all that much. You just think about like, you go to work, you come home, you go to work, you come home, and that's about it. You don't really think of everything that's around here, just because we grew up here. But one of the biggest things that West Springfield and like Western Mass has to offer, is the Big E. So the Big E is literally the biggest fair in New England, and not many people outside of New England, I think, would know about it. Um, but there's people that come from New Hampshire, people that come from Vermont, Maine. Sorry, there's my dog barking here. Come on, Roxy. Sorry,
No worries at all.
she's just she's getting lonely. She's very fluffy. Um, but
Obviously, this year it got cancelled, I see, but I gather
yeah,
hopefully, I mean, are they expecting to do it in 2021?
Yeah, so there's talk that they're going to do it in 2021, but realistically, anything can happen. Um, Something that's really cool about the Big E too is it's not just that one fair. They actually rent out the buildings inside of the Big E to have like like our graduations are there. West Springfield High School, we all graduate there, and there's other classes that graduate there as well. So they use the buildings inside of there. They'll have like um, horse. Uh, I forgot what they're called. Do you know what they're called?
No, what horse shows?
Horse shows. Yes, sorry. They
I can
got
see.
horse shows there every year and stuff. They're big into that. Yep. There we
Yeah.
go. So that's like the Big E by itself. There's a lot of scenery in Western Mass.
Do you get a lot of people coming from out of state
What's that?
to? Do you get a lot of people coming from all over the country to this event then?
Yeah. People all over the place kind of come from and to the Big E, just to come visit. And it is kind of a sight to see because you have like you have people lined up out the door, out of the gate, and everything. And every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's more and more people that come. It is kind of crazy to think about, but the whole like all the streets, it's almost impossible to go through that section of town when the Big E is in play. Like the locals, they know just not to go there at all because otherwise you're gonna be sitting in traffic for a couple hours.
That sounds fun. And one of the coolest things that you have got going for you is the Basketball Hall of Fame is where you are.
Yes, yep. So we have the Basketball Hall of Fame, and we have the in Holyoke the Volleyball Hall of Fame. So both basketball and volleyball was originated in Western Mass, which is kind of cool to think about. So I highly recommend anybody that's coming by, even if they're just kind of going through to New York or wherever. Highly recommend taking a tour around those two places, and you might like what you see. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, especially the basketball. I mean, I don't know too much about volleyball players, but basketball obviously would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, you can walk right into. They have like the whole like hallway there where they'll have like little restaurants and stuff, and you can walk right through it. And there's like little plaques of where people that were inducted, they have their foot and their handprint, and you can go right up to Shaquille O'Neal's footprint and put your foot there, and just to kind of you know
Put your whole body where his
yeah,
footprint is. Yeah.
exactly. Two of me, I'm only 5'7", so I'm just a little guy, but
And what other great things have you got?
Um, another cool thing is Six Flags. Six Flags New England is right in Agawam. That's pretty cool. We like to do that during the summer. We'll get like a guest pass or something every now and then. Um, you get a group of people to just go and have fun for the day. A lot of people like to come from around the state or from around the country to go there as well. Um, they got the Superman ride in Six Flags.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can pull that up, but
Yeah, I'll try and
that
I'll get
that's my personal favorite. um, let's see here. So yeah, they got Six Flags.
Yeah, they
Um,
seem to have loads of rides, some great water rides and stuff, live shows. It's basically one of the massive amusement parks around, in the US, isn't it? Six Flags.
yes, yep, yeah. It used to be, oh my gosh, Water World, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
It used to be before it was Six Flags in Agawam. It was called something differently, but I forgot what it was called. So I guess we'll skip that.
And you seem to
Um,
have an incredible, you know, outdoors. You really do. The I'm looking at some pictures of where you live, and it seems incredible. So tell us about, hikes and places that you can go if you love being outside.
yeah, sure. I guess one of the things that like is like right next to me is well, I don't know what that is, but right next to me we have Mount Tom, which is in East Hampton.
Yep.
I don't know.
So
Mount Tom is one.
Mount Greylock, for example, but I'm just going around on
Okay.
a website link that you sent us. Destination Williamstown.
Yeah. So Mount Tom is the one that's like right next to me. It's only 1,200 square feet.
Yep.
But a little bit further north, you have Mount Greylock, which is actually um, it's a part of the Appalachian Trail. So that the trail that goes all the way from Georgia, people hike all the time.
Yep.
They spend thousands and thousands and days hiking. They go up actually in the middle of Mount Greylock, which is kind of cool. And that place, it's a tough hike. It's not easy at all, you know. But yeah, that's a really cool thing to do. I personally, I'm more of a fan of like waterfalls and stuff like that. Um, so we do have a couple things. I don't know if do you cliff jump at all?
Say again, cliff jump. I like to, but I haven't done too much of it. But it's one of those when you get to the top, you get a bit scared, but once you've done it, you can go back up again.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, Beckett Quarry it's in Beckett, Massachusetts, and I used to go at one point. I think I was going like 3 or 4 times a week, and we would literally go there just to jump off the cliffs for a couple hours and then come right back home. Like it was a lot of fun and a lot of great time. Another place you can do this that a lot of people like is Bashfish Falls, and I don't know if you've heard of that at all, but that's like
No,
a really really beautiful place, Bashfish. That's really really nice, and if you like, if you continue to like hiking, they have uh, on Charlemont Mountain, on Blandford Mountain, and Jiminy Peak. You can actually hike the mountain during the summer, or during the winter. They have, they turn into a ski resort, so you can ski too, which is only like, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour from where I live, which is nice.
that's cool.
Um, yeah,
And tell
yeah,
us
very.
about that people wouldn't know about that's not on the normal tourist map. What would you advise people to do if they came to visit, or maybe they're looking to move? What would be the fun things for them to do?
So I think the biggest things that I would say, like if you were coming from all over the world and you were to come into Western Mass, um, I think a couple of the biggest things, the big E is going to be probably number one. You want to be a part of that because that really is a good time, and it's huge. It's a huge fest.
But what about the things that people don't really know about?
Oh, what they don't know about? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. A lot of people don't really know about our St. Patty's Day parade. But our St. Patty's Day parade is like one of the biggest in the country. I think Boston is, it just happens to be right there, but it is very very big as well. But St. Patty's Day celebration they have on Saturdays. They do the St. Patty's Day road race, which I ran a couple times. It's a 10K, and those hills will get you. I'll tell you, it's like up and down all throughout the streets of Holyoke, and it is insane. Um,
There are lots of drinking. Normally, anything involved in Paddy's Day is there's lots of drinking.
yep, yep. You got to be careful if you're running during the race because you don't want to get hit in the head with a beer as you're running. Because people will throw a beer at you expecting you to catch it, but that's why I have glasses now. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Um, but yeah, so that's definitely one of the things that you should do. Another thing is Mrs. Murphy's Donuts in Southwick. That is definitely something that everybody should try at least once. They're actually pretty famous. You can get them right from like rest stops on highways and everything. Um, but
I
yeah, they're
love donut. Annoyingly, I'm now gluten free, so I have to go to places that
uh,
have free options.
right.
Uh, Still, gluten free donuts are now amazing, but donuts are incredible.
Yeah, they're honestly Mrs. Murphy's Donuts. You might want to try it because they're really good.
And I see obviously the reason why the Basketball Hall of Fame is where it is and volleyball is because the fact that they both started basketball in Springfield and volleyball in Holyoke.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, do you mind if I get this dog out of here real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, come on. All right.
And what about your favorite restaurants? What are your favorite restaurants in West Springfield?
So I would say the top 3 restaurants that I personally like, and I got to give shout outs because I know the owners and I love them. But Sorrento's, it used to be Sorrento's restaurant, and they just revamped the whole thing. So it looks totally it looks brand new inside. It looks immaculate. So Sorrento's in West Springfield, that's number 1. Bella Napoli, they have unbelievable pizza like you wouldn't believe. And I know that I'm sorry. I know you probably have good pizza over there too, but I think the Northeast kind of wins on that.
Yeah, from what I understand, everything I hear is where you are, that part of the world has the best pizza because you've got obviously a massive Italian community. So I think that we're famous for our Mexican food where we are in San Diego,
which is still really good. And then the last one I would say is probably Calabrese Market and Deli in West Springfield. They got these huge eggplant towers, and they're massive. I want to say that they're maybe like a foot tall, and it's out of this world. I don't know. Are you a big eggplant fan?
I like it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I pretty much like all food. So if food's good, I'll try it.
Okay. Good. Yeah, eggplant parm towers from Calabrese Deli.
And then who lives where you live? Is it lots of families? You've talked about massive, amounts of colleges, etc. as well. So is there a lot of, 21-year-olds? Who lives where you live?
So to be honest with you, there is a huge group of different people, or it's very, very diverse.
Yeah.
So you do have a lot of college kids that are there, that are kind of like in those cities, like in Springfield, in Amherst, Hadley, even like Northampton, people that just graduated and stuff like that. Westfield even, but at the same time, it is a very, very family oriented and family friendly place, which is kind of cool in a sense. There's a lot of people that I would say come from maybe like the Boston area and they want to settle down, so they'll move out towards the west a little bit more to kind of get away from the city life, and that way they're close enough to where they can still live there, and see city life like New York City and like Boston, but at the same time they can kind of have their own little space and their own home, if you know what I mean.
No, I completely get it. And how far away are you from Boston and New York?
So where I am, I'm probably about an hour and a half from Boston, and I would say from New York City, maybe 3 hours. So it's a bit of a hike for New York City, but it's really not that bad.
I bet you probably get a lot of people who live in that type of area where they maybe work Monday to Thursday in somewhere like New York, and then come back at the weekends.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest with everything going on with COVID and people not going to the office as much, we are getting quite a bit of New Yorkers. I don't know if you are as well, if that's what you're experiencing, but we're getting a lot of people coming from New York City and from Boston that are kind of getting into the outskirts of those.
We're getting a lot of people coming down from LA and San Francisco, as you say, because now they don't have to go to an office every single day. And LA in particular is really locked down, whereas
Right.
it's not so, we're slightly less restrictive, and you can do more outside here probably than what you can LA. There's less traffic, etc. So we're definitely finding people are moving down here from other places. So yeah, the big cities, people, and also financially, which we're going to talk about now, is what you can buy in New York City and what you can buy where you are. It's a
Right.
lot less, which
Yeah.
makes it a lot more affordable for people. So obviously you're a real estate agent out in West Springfield. So let's just take a look at a property that will cost you. Look, it's sold for 315,000. So talk to me about what you can get while I show these pictures. Talk to me about what you can get for 300,000, because this looks like a really big, nice family home.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. People that they want to start their lives, they want to be in their forever home, or if not their forever home, their first forever home. That's what you're getting right around Western Mass. Is you're getting that $300,000 house, and this one right here is in West Springfield. Um, but in the surrounding towns, you can even get something just like that for even cheaper too.
What I love about, not only is it a beautiful home, but the fact that it's got a really decent sized yard as well. We struggle with that in San Diego, and in along the coast in California. It's you don't really get any form of yard. So it's really not. What I love about places like where you live is you can get a really good yard. I mean, that is a beautiful home. And then the other thing is what can you get for $1 million? So let's go back here. I'll get this to the first picture. Tell me about this incredible home and what you get for $1 million.
So, believe it or not, I actually showed that house not too long ago. It's still on the market. I showed it literally just a couple days ago, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that thing is an absolute mansion. It's got a nice, beautiful yard. I like that the chandelier right when you walk in. Big, open dining room, big open kitchen, and then you got a little bit of a theater room, which is nice. Um, there's like a little bit of a workout room in there too. So that thing that's the Carlton right there.
Yeah, it's really nice. Is $1 million kind of like towards the top of your market, or do you get homes that are above that?
So the average house sale is about $250,000 right now as of this past year in 2020. So yeah, $1 million is like you're getting a really 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 nice home right around that price.
Yeah. No, it's just amazing. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show, was just to see the difference in what you can get financially in different parts of the country.
Right.
And I think I mentioned beforehand, 300,000 doesn't get you much in San Diego at all. And it's just incredible to see around the country what you can get for 300,000. It really is. So thank you so much for coming on the show, Louis. It was really interesting to get to know where you're from, your amazing area, Springfield in Massachusetts. Hopefully one day I can actually come and meet you and get to see where you live and
Yeah.
jump off a cliff, go to a Six Flags, I go and get some amazing donuts. I really look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you're in the area, or maybe offline, we can catch something up and we can get
Great.
you
Yeah,
everything.
I'd love to do all around there. I'd love to see places like Boston and then go down and see Washington, etc. as well. It'd be great fun to come and do the Northeast. I've been to New York, but only for a few days. So I'd love to come up and see your part of the world.
Yeah, and we can even schedule something where we can show you a couple of houses that are actually on the market at that point, just in
That would
case you move.
Yeah, exactly. So if anyone is interested in moving, or even just like they're looking at visiting the area and they want to find out where to go, what is the best way of us getting in contact with you?
So I would say the best way to get in contact with me is going to be email. So you can reach me at buy now at louisiano.realtor. And I can't really type it or anything on here and show you, but
No, that's fine. And what I'll do is I'll put all your contact information below. We'll put your social media, etc. I highly recommend following you on Instagram. See the amazing homes that you're buying and helping people sell every day. Thanks again for coming on, and hopefully one day I can meet you in person and come and see your amazing place.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool. I'm just going to